Good evening, everyone. Travis here. I took a couple of days off, so this video is going to come out a couple of days later than my normal production schedule. I usually get it at hitting Fridays. But if I'm timing this right, this should come out on Sunday. What we're doing here at Tpull's Corner is we're looking at some older mechanics. Stuff that maybe most of us didn't get to, but it's still in the environment. In my case, I was interested in the idea of plotting. It comes from Thunder Junction. It's tough in the current environment. The environment seems to always be speeding up. So, you know, the idea of taking off 2 or 3 turns just to plot stuff seems a little weird. I think here we just neutralize this now. That way it doesn't actually double the stuff all the time. Never mind. Of course it's landfall, and of course they have sacrificial lands, and they get exactly the right number of sacrificial lands they want to do everything that they feel like. And it's so boring. Just because it happens so often, so let's just take it. We'll see if they actually pack their deck with 4 copies of Feed the Swarm to destroy the enchantments. Even if they destroy the enchantment, though, the stun counters are going to stay and go off 1 turn at a time, so that gives me a lot of extra time. So they weren't expecting that. I do like Kidnap. It's a fun little card. And we'll play with their Black Lotus while they figure out what they're going to do. Welcome to Tpull's Corner, where we tend to confuse people with the decks we make. Yep, looking at it, looking at it, looking at it. Oh, another sacrificial land. Too bad it's not going to do much for you. Okay, let's go ahead. Since this is my creature now, I don't mind if we use this for our own purposes, right? We'll go get another island for now. And then we can go get another land. They have to be afraid, right? That's a 32 Trampler I've got. They should kill it out of panic, or they should play that Dark Swarm. They need another Dark Swarm. They've got black. They should have all kinds of removals, so it's not like we're counting on this. What happens if we use the Naga Flesh Crafter? It just starts as a 1/1. It's not nearly as exciting. Okay, so I think they think they can get this back with the Dark Swarm, right? They're just timing it. They're just timing it, I bet. Let's see, 3, 4, 5. I don't have enough to play Make Your Own Luck and play Aetherize. Let's just pass the turn. Let's see what they're trying to get up to here. I mean, normally you would think they would take out the 64/64 creature. But if they can just destroy the enchantment, they'd get it back, right? No, they're going to get rid of it. They had to. Maybe they were just trying to wait and see if they could draw it one more time. They couldn't quite get to it. Well, I'm low on health, but I'm not going to be afraid of a 1-1. I'm just going to keep on taking that. Alright, now it's time to make our own luck. Yeah, let's plot this one. It's really all we can do right now. Yeah, I took a mini vacation. I was feeling very low energy. Don't see this every day. Ancient Adamantoids. Blah, 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 blah. When it dies... Oh, what happens when it dies? Exile and create 10 tapped creature tokens. Ooh, so if they kill it, when it's over for part of mine... let's see... If the gift wasn't promised, put 3 stun counters on it. I could take it without the stun counters. Gimme, gimme. That's beautiful. So we tap it the first time. Oh, and we have Fibblethip. And I think we... Go ahead and bring this down now. That's enough. Okay, so they've been hoarding, right? They get another creature, and just in time they get another sacrificial land to pump it up. Whoopity-doo. And nobody cares. What do we want to do here? 1, 2, 3, 4. We can go ahead and plot this now. And pass the turn. You're not serious, are you? It's like they don't know me. Okay, this, with Fibblethip, we can plot now. This we can plot now. This we can plot now. Perfect. What else can we do? Station. There we go. End the turn. How much do I need for this? 12? Okay. I'm not sure that I'll actually need to use that. Try and get past my 0-8. Aha! Okay, now we do Tapestry Warden. And we plot this. And we attack with the 2019 that we can now do. Thanks to Tapestry Warden. Toughness greater than power assigns combat damage equal to its toughness. Even though the toughness is... Even though the toughness goes down on this particular creature, Death Touch and Indestructible. How about no? think it's time to play our other plotted cards. This is Outlaws of Thunder Junction. It's the plot mechanic. To plot a card, pay the plot cost and exile it. And I've got 4 copies of Fibblethip Lost on the Range in here. So the top card of my library has plot. There's no discount or increased cost. The plot cost is equal to the mana cost. We'll kick, okay. And that's all they got. Okay, now it's time to have some fun. We start with the Railway Brawler. And then Doc. And then the Archer. And then the Loan Shark. Oh, this is just beautiful. And then the Outlaw Stitcher. And we get a 20/20 there. And we can plot this. And what can I do with this stuff? We'll just pay for this. Search for a basic land. Put in play tapped. And can we do anything with this? 1 counter target non-legendary. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of that creature until end of turn. I don't know if I want to do that. But I do know that I want to attack. And they get... Yeah, they didn't have much to do against my sudden army. Life is good. I took a wonderful weekend off. I took 2 whole days off. Just because I was not feeling well. Slept in a little bit. Read some comic books. Watched some TV. Didn't play much Magic. But you can't keep me away from this game for long. Okay, we're simply calling this the plot. And what I wanted to do was go ahead and not just make a regular plot deck, because the regular plot deck have cards like, where are we? Slickshot Lockpicker. Say that 4 times fast. It's a 2/3 human rogue. When it enters target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard, gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost, so there's no discount. But I can pay 3 and exile it, and its cost becomes 0. I can't play it the same turn that I pay the plot cost, so it goes into exile when I pay the plot cost, and I have to wait for another turn. It also means that you have to cast all these as sorceries, so if I do happen to plot an instant, it becomes no good as an instant. I have to play it as a sorcery, so it's only going to be played during my turn. Unless I got tricky later and threw another card in here that allows me to play cards as flash spells, but that's an idea for another time. In the meantime, I don't see anybody playing plot, and part of that is because we're used to people trying to kill us on turn 3 and turn 4, or make it so by turn 5 or 6. It's so overwhelmingly against you. There's no sense in spending a turn just plotting something that you're never going to be able to use later. And I thought, let's do something different than just the plot, the regular plot. Let's do Fibblethip. It's a legendary homunculus. He's been around for quite a many years. He was very popular back in the day. I think they were making plushies out of him and stuff. But he's a 1/1 with Ward 2. You can look at the top card of your library anytime, and the top card of your library has plot. So any card turns into a plot card. And you can play the non-land cards from the top. You may play plot non-land cards from the top of your library. And you saw how it worked out, right? We plotted things as long as we thought that we could take the time. And when it was time that we built up a critical mass, we just put everything down. And it didn't cost us because we paid all the costs earlier. How else do we want to do things around here? We've got 1 bounce off, so we can return target creature or vehicle to its owner's hand. We've got another one with Into the Floodmaw from Bloomburrow, a return in a target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. If we give them a tapped fish as well, we can make it a non-land permanent instead of just a creature. We've got Unable to Scream. Enchanted creature loses all its abilities, becomes a toy artifact creature. Base power and toughness is 0/2 in addition to its other types. And if the creature is face down, it can't be turned face up. That's because it's from the Duskmourn expansion. We have 2 legendary Coral Tyrants, Kelorna. Legendary Octopus 08. That's all she is, 08. We have Jace Reawakened. Now this is interesting. They made a 2-drop Planeswalker and then said you can't cast it during first, second, or third turns of the game. So by turn 4 we can cast them. For 1 we can draw a card, then discard a card. For another +1 to his loyalty, we can exile a non-land card with mana value 3 or less from our hand, and if we do, it becomes plotted. And then if we get enough, we can -6 until end of turn. Whenever you cast a spell, you can copy it. So that's kind of fun. We've got Thornwield Archer, Reach and Death Touch, 2/1 creature. We've got 2 of Doc Orlok, Grizzled Genius. I tried to do 4, and it was too many. I just kept getting too many duplicate copies of this, so I cut it down to 2. But spells you cast from your graveyard or exile cost 2 less to cast, and plotting cards from your hand cost 2 less. So if we do have time to plot stuff, this can take things very early in the game and allow us to plot some expensive stuff for much cheaper. We've got 2 Broken Wings to get rid of flyers and pesky artifacts and enchantments. 1 Larval Scoutlander, Spacecraft. When it enters, you can sacrifice a land, and then you search for 2 other basic lands, put them into battlefield tapped. If you station it enough times, it'll become a 3/3 flyer. We've got 1 Roamer's Routine to search for a basic land, and Harmonize, so we could pay the full 5 cost from exile and just do it again, get another tap land. Or we could tap some creatures. It works like basically a version of Convoke, where you tap a creature you control to reduce that cost, where X is that creature's power. We have 1 Aetherize, so return all attacking creatures to their owner's hand. I've got 2 Loan Sharks. When it enters, if you cast 2 or more spells this turn, you draw a card. So you really want to plot this and then be able to play it out later, so that on another turn you can cast something else first and then play this. We've got Naga Fleshcrafter. You can have this creature enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, and you can renew it for 3. It exiles it from your graveyard, and you get a +1 counter on a target non-legendary creature. Then each other creature control becomes a copy of that creature until end of the turn. We've got 1 copy of Outlaw Stitcher. I think I have more than 1 copy of this, but this can sometimes be a win condition, especially if you get some of the Railway Brawlers out ahead of time. But basically, you can plot it for 5. So notice this is one of the more powerful cards. If you plot it so that you can use it later, it actually is more expensive than just bringing it down for 4. That's because of the special ability. When the creature enters, you create a 2/2 blue and black zombie rogue creature token. You see pictured there to the right. Pretty good art on that zombie rogue too, by the way. Then you put 2 +1/+1 counters on that token for each spell you've cast this turn other than the first. So I love to get like 4 plotted cards and then go ahead and play those 4 plotted cards and then play this as my 5th plotted card. Or even if it's not plotted, if I have 4 energy to spare, I might just pay full cast for this if I've got 4 spells plotted. And then it'll come down, it'll start as a 2/2, and then for each of the other 4 spells, you get the +2 +1/+1 counter, so 2, 4, 6, 8. You get a 10/10 at least, and even more if you got a Railway Brawler coming up. We'll get to that. I've got 2 of these Kidnaps, enchant a creature. You tap it as soon as you get it. If the gift wasn't promised, it has 3 stun counters on it, so you don't get to use it for quite a while. If you're willing to give your opponent a card, you can forego putting the stun counters on it. You'll take it and it'll be tapped for that turn. Tapestry Warden is fun. This is from Edge of Eternities. 3/4 with Vigilance, Robot Soldier. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. This is why we have the Octopus in here. Instead of a 0/8, it becomes an 8/8. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power stations permanents using its toughness rather than its power as well. So for things like the Larval Scoutlander, we can just, assuming Tapestry Warden is on the field, we can then have this become an 8/8 and tap it, and we could station the Spacecraft here with just 1 turn. 1 tap of a creature. Railway Brawler is really one of the big win conditions here. You plot it for 4, and then when you're ready, you bring it down when you have other creatures. You bring this one down first, and you get a 5/5 Reach Trampler. Then whenever another creature control enters, you put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is its power. So if I'm bringing down Tapestry Warden, I'm going to get a +3/+3 basically, so it becomes a 6/7 creature. I like to chain the Railway Brawler, so you're putting down a couple of Railway Brawlers at once. Sometimes you have that time. And 1 copy of Make Your Luck. You look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can exile a non-land card from among them, and if you do, it becomes plotted. The rest of the cards go into your hand. We have 1 Bewildering Blizzard. I like to use this a lot when I'm playing blue. You draw 3 cards, creature your opponent's control get -3 until end of turn. Just gives you, especially if you're out of ammo and you have nothing in your hand, gives you one last chance to maybe dig deep and find something. And then sort of a win more card, I think, by the time you get this out. Extravagant Replication. At the beginning of your upkeep, you create a token that's a copy of another target non-land permanent you control. And if we have some of our other cards out, the synergies that we can get with this are just unbelievable. We do have another station card here. We've got Avendo Waking Haven. It's planet. And if we station it for 12, we can add 1 green mana for each creature you control. And really just one Fabled Passage to get out some land fixing. And that's it. And I didn't think it would do that well. Oh, let me go in one more time and we'll show you the breakdown real quick. Just because I do have 2 copies of Slick Shot Lockpicker where you can give an instant or sorcery card flashback. And you notice I only have 8 instants and sorcery, so it's not common, but if I do manage to utilize that particular synergy, it can be really powerful. But we're kind of like a creature deck, basically. 22 creatures and 3.2, not too expensive. Still pretty much within the average, turns out. It doesn't seem to matter what deck you have. You have even odds of getting one of these weenie decks that tries to swarm you all the time these days. And that can stop us. Did I not mention Aegis Turtle? We have Aegis Turtle too. Just an early chump blocker. This can turn into a 5/5 as well when we get the right creature out. We attack for 0! Establish dominance. A rat tail. Okay, fine. Okay, we won our first battle, and now we're getting land starved. This is typical. We are a kind of land-intensive deck. We do need a lot of land to make things work. And so usually getting land starved early on is the death knell for us. Especially, you notice they're not having any trouble putting stuff out. Do they waste time attacking with the rat? They do not. Okay. It's good for us at least. Let's try Fibblethip. It's only Ward 2, so they might actually have something that can defeat it now. Black has a lot of cheap removal spells. Just relatively cheap creatures still. And no reason not to start attacking. Okay, that comes in tapped. Do I want to do that? Yeah. This is all we got.
The pieces are scattered.
The only thing that I could plot is the Into the Floodmon. I don't want to do that.
Out.
Yet another land. I think... Shoot. All the stuff I have is good stuff, though. I don't want to lose anything else. Hopefully that buys us a turn, and they go after Jace instead of us. Alright, they go after Jace. Not much good out of the Planeswalker that time around. They're blue. You got to give them extra time. They're almost like a swarm deck, though. They're just going to turn sideways and attack. I need my Aetherize. I guess we block the 3/3. And of course we get another Fibblethip, which is not what I wanted. Let's go ahead and plot that. And that we can hold on to as an instant. Kind of want them to play a land and just use this up. They've got lots of ammo, but getting a duplicate Fibblethip is really bad timing. Creature gains first strike and must be blocked this turn if able. Okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. Let's get rid of the token. Oh, hang on. Make sure that I don't give them a gift. Block that. And we're taking 4. Alright. We don't get to plot anything there. I think we go ahead and bring down the Railway Brawler. We bring down the Archer. And we take over this puppy. And we take over this puppy, or is it this puppy? This puppy. And then I can attack for 1. Just to add a little insult to injury there. Okay, if they take away any creatures, they're the ones that are losing life, not me. They could pay 2 to move the Scythe over to their Diorat, but hopefully I've done enough extra stuff after this over here on the right that they're not going to pay attention to that for a couple turns. They can bring this down now, right? Make a 5/5. They gain 2 life from that, but I gain 2 life, and they lose 2 life. They didn't like the Death Toucher, eh? It's most of their energy. What else can they do here? They've only got 2 untapped lands right now. Okay, so we could do that. Yeah, we can go ahead and plot that. Let's go ahead and bring Fibblethip down. And we'll keep the new one. We get a couple life and they lose a couple life due to losing the original Fibblethip, and Railway Brawler gives it an extra 1, so it becomes a 2/2 to match the Diorat. These things we can't do anything about, remember? They're plotted. We can't use those this turn. But we still got our Aegis Turtle to lock an attacker. That's a gross card. Luckily, we have stuff. We have things we can do. And this is a problem. I mean, we could plot. Can we plot this for 0? No, we can't. It's, yeah, let's see. Blah, 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 blah. The top card has plot. You can plot non-land cards. So it gives it plot, but you can't plot it because it's a land. Alright, let's get rid of the 5/5. And we're just going to go ahead and attack in with both of these. See if he wants to trade the rat with Fibblethip. He does. Okay, and saves a couple points of damage there. It's fine. 2 more life points. And we can now play the plot, and we get our Fibblethip back. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start plotting, stationing stuff. Here we go. The game might end before we station that to 12. I haven't had the best of luck yet with plotting. We've been able to plot a couple cards off the top of our deck with Fibblethip, but we keep running into lands really often. Oh, great. 7/7, Oh, and they have life gain too. Oh, and they have reanimate. So, oh, they got rid of a couple of destroy cards at least. Okay, so we plot this. We plot this. Let's see, legendary creature. Yeah, let's plot this. We'll use it as a sorcery. Play this, and I think we're done. Station this. Station this. Okay, I'm counting on the idea that they can't kill us this turn. They might remove the turtle, but I'm planning to just chump block with the turtle. Even if we don't play Broken Wings, we can at least get a couple spells and get another card draw out of things coming next. 9/9? They're just putting out these massively powerful creatures every turn. That only costs 4. Getting a 9/9 for 4 is not bad. Alright, their total's going to go down to 6. They could have attacked with the reinforcements too, but I don't think they wanted to. Alright, that gives us that. This can be our second card. It gets some counters thanks to the Brawler, and we get our bounce off spell. Oh, this is nice. I can just play this right off the top of the deck. Oh no, it plotted it. Shoot. Okay, let's plot this one too. I thought it said I could just play spells with plot right off the top with Fibblethip. Blah, 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 blah. Top card, the plot cards. No, you can just plot them. Okay. What else do I want to do? This is in my hand, right? So I can play that as an instant. Oh, you know what? Could we get them now? Did I not need to do any of that? How about that? Yeah, unless one of these two cards does something special. Sweet. I'm really not used to being treated like this. Arena doesn't usually give me a lot of extra time to do stuff, but I did try to do the deck configuration to stall so that I would get a little bit of time that I would need to plot. Looks like the blue control cards that I chose are doing their job. They're doing their work. I'm not convinced yet that this is a good deck in the sense of being able to really keep pace with the current environment. But yeah, the couple of wins so far help, right? Okay, so they're going slightly slow, right? So we could start with this. We don't necessarily need the turtle down on first turn. They might have some haste, though. Blue, red, and black. How many cards? More than normal. 6 extra cards. Okay, 2 broken wings already. That's good. Especially if they have more than one of these. Hopefully they don't go double spells already on this turn. It's kind of the drawback. Uh-oh. Hexproof and haste. Alright. Let's get rid of that. They didn't have anything to stop Fibblethip from coming down. So are they not a counterspell deck? Alright, let's try it. Hey, look at that. What are all these cards you're holding then? And why are you not spending any of your energy? Plot you. Play you. Attack for just 1. Maybe they've got a bunch of black and red cards and they're having trouble with their mana fixing. I need 1 more land to make this work. We would have needed the full 6 just to plot it. We didn't have the right amount of energy yet. Means we'll have to make some choices when we do get to 6 on if we're going to plot other stuff or if we're just going to hold 6 for that spell. Hey. I might have wanted that card. Plot. That's all we're doing. We're just plotting. Now, I think the flavor of this was Outlaws of Thunder Junction, so it was a heist kind of thing. So it was bad guys, really, right? Another flyer. They really plot that. We get that. We kill Ultima. And then let's go ahead and bring down the Planeswalker. And we can draw.
Future, the multiverse. What am I missing?
And shoot. I think we get rid of Loan Shark, actually. I'm not going to attack with anybody. So anyway, it's a heist, which means you're villains, so the plot mechanic, it's usually the villains that plot. So I guess I'm a villain for this deck. All I'm doing is plotting the entire time. But in the meantime, I've got a number of blockers, so they can't get rid of my Planeswalker too easily. But most of my extra stuff is lands in here. I'm not quite up. I need the 6 lands for Blizzard, so I can't really keep drawing and discarding. And how much you want to bet they have 4 of those? I gotta put up with 4 Kyveros? Alright, you asked for it. Here, give me that. And you may exile, but you don't have to, so I'm just going to submit.
Always.
I'm going to say decline, and I still get the +1 there. And I kept open mana so I can return something that I might need to. What do you want to put that on? Do we care? You gave him haste, but I've got a Death Toucher. Alright, we're plotting again. And there we go. Yeah, let's draw and discard.
This is an interesting.
Okay, do we want to do anything else this turn? No. We're almost ready to start doing stuff besides plotting. So what, they'll bring it in as a copy of Ruzik? Or would they bring it in as a copy of the Data Scrubber? Let's get rid of the Mystic. That way they don't get credit for drawing anything if they had a chance to draw something this turn. They do imitate the robot. What are you going to get rid of? You get rid of the shark. Okay. Not the biggest deal to me. Bingo. Okay. Now we're in business. This is going to be fun. Okay, so we bring down the Brawler. We cast our second spell with Kidnap. Oh, hang on. Let me make sure. I don't want to give them a card. I'm okay with keeping the Mystic tapped down himself with the stun counters. Then we do the Loan Shark. Loan Shark gets counters from the Brawler, and we get to draw a card, and we get a fairy. Life is good. We go ahead and draw here because we just got a land that we don't care about.
I'll find what I need soon.
And station this. Station this. Station this. Oh, that's lovely. I can plot this now. That is sweet. Okay, pass the turn. How did I get all this time? Oh, they're all villains? Is this just a villain deck? But I'm the villain. I'm the one who's been plotting. Gross. Okay. What can we do with that now? Let's go ahead and cast that. We'll plot that. Plot that. Throw that thing away.
Out.
Get rid of the land we don't need. And can we start attacking with anything? I like that. I like that. Okay, they chump block the 6/7 and take 2 points. They're going to get another treasure token, so they could still afford to cast this again, right? We've got extravagant replication, though, so... I think from this card we know why they have more than 60 cards in their deck. They were planning on drawing more throughout the game. But I've built up such a nice defensive line. They should take out the Brawler, really. They might be looking at Kaivero here that can get rid of their lands. At least make them colorless lands. One or less. Gross. Who did we all lose? We lost Fibblethip, and we lost our Death Toucher. And we lost their Mystic. They just couldn't see a way around it. Remember, they can see the cards we've plotted, right? So this is visible to them, I believe. Did we win 3 in a row? With a plot deck? Have we been sleeping on this the whole time? I was so busy using the other older expansion cards when Thunder Junction came out. I think I tried to use a plotted card here or there in the Jumpstart and got slaughtered and left it behind in the dust. No, they're getting out 1/1s already. Our easy ride may be over. Oh, look at that. Finn the Fangbearer on turn 2. Oh, I don't know that we have anything that can handle this. Alright, I guess we go get an island. They've got black, though. They've got to have tons of removal. All they need is one removal card, and then they got me with poison already. Yeah, plotting is no good against poison. And we didn't stop the poison. Alright. Basically 4-turn kill, yes? Yeah, plotting is slow. We know this. Thank you for putting me in my place, Arena. At least we get to go first now. We'll go get one land of each. And now we've got a couple of defensive spells. Can we start with the plotting? We'll plot the most expensive thing first. We'll use up all of our energy. Discard. Gross. Discard can hurt us. Let's plot this. I guess we'll keep the island where it is for this second, just in case they have another discard spell. I am going to need 6 lands eventually. That's indestructible, so my removal spells aren't going to do much good against that. Alright, I guess we're doing the Brawler. And we're doing the Stitcher. That feels good.
You all have a part to play in this.
And we'll station the 8/8 right away. And we got a flyer. Sweet. There's nothing that's 3 or less from our hand, so we can't actually plot anything, but we just get the +1,
You're
right?
2 steps behind.
Did that not give us the +1? We'll try that again. I got distracted. My cat jumped up in front of me here. Can't stop it. Do they really have another removal spell? They're basically stuck on 3 energy. No land draw. Why would you get rid of the 2/5 and not the 8/8? What am I missing here? This is weird. Okay. Do I get a +1? I do. Okay, it goes up to 5. There's just nothing valid there for it to attach onto. Okay, 11 points. That was a lot of points. Are they not able... They could have gotten rid of... Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was a token. They could have gotten rid of this. A creature of our choice other than the enchanted creature. So that one goes away. Now they need to do damage to this. Never mind. Alright. That's a lot of removal. Let's bring you down. Just pumping this up.
Another piece in place.
Okay, we'll let that take me down to a 2. And then we'll bounce it. Save! Ta-da! We made him waste 2 spells. That's excellent. Oh, finally, something I can draw and discard.
Let me think.
Bring you down again. And now we can use the ultimate if we want to. Let's see. I want to take you, cast you, pump you up some more, and attack with a 4/4. Life is good. I don't think we need the Etherize anymore. We're far enough along that I am no longer afraid of any discard spells.
I'll find what I need soon.
And thanks to the Tapestry Warden, instead of being a 3/4, it's a 4/4, and the 0/5 becomes a 5/5. It looked like they were having trouble with their land, but they held up pretty well. They had a lot of cheap removal. Seemed like they were going to make it work. Crystal Fragments. I think I only have one of these so far. That could be a fun card. Alright, we're going to quit while we're ahead. We died to poison. But other than that, the deck did really well, didn't it? I was not expecting that. It's kind of fun. This reminds me of when I first started playing again, we ended up getting Call Time on Arena. And Call Time had the Foretell, where you would spend usually just a couple of mana, and you would be able to save a spell, and you would be able to cast it for cheaper from the Foretell spot out of exile. So Plot reminds me a little bit of Foretell, and I made an almost exclusive Foretell deck back in the day, and it was very soothing for me to play that because I was usually spending every turn foretelling 1 or 2 cards, and I just got into this zen-like state of playing this deck and just constantly foretelling stuff all the time. And for some reason I found it incredibly soothing. So whenever I do have enough time to plot, it feels pretty good, just because you know that you're setting aside something, you are able to coordinate something, right? Which I guess is very flavorful with the idea of plot as the name of the mechanic. But you're able to organize these things so that you can put them out in the proper order to maximize their effect later. And that fits in with my personality pretty well. So it's kind of amazing that I didn't go back and explore this sooner rather than later. But it's one of those mechanics that it can be a little bit hard for especially a newer player to wrap their brain around. So it's easy to see that kind of stuff and have your eyes just glaze over and say, never mind, I'm going to move on to something simpler. But I did want to showcase this and show that there is some promise here. And if you do want to take another look at the plot mechanic, there might be some fun in it for us. So go ahead and leave a comment, as always. What do you think of the deck? Is there something else you'd like to see me do with the plot stuff? Did this change your mind about plot as a mechanic? Did you think it was a bad mechanic before? I do not really encounter anybody in the current environment using the plot mechanic. And I think this deck made out of me. It was fun to steer. It was fun to control. So, as always, we ask you to like and subscribe until YouTube fixes my account and turns off all the shadow banning stuff. In the meantime, we'll have something new for you next time. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.